bring in across our society, and particularly at our government level, whether that is something like an integrity commission, whether it is, I love that you suggested a code of conduct for politicians, parliamentarians, that it had been knocked back. I can't believe that. I would love to see something like that introduced. So there are also simple things that we can do, that because perhaps the problem here is that the conversation's not being driven in the right way, because there's not a framework for it to be had within, so people, as you said, are making up their own rules about what it means, and justifying their own behaviour, because everyone can justify our own behaviour to ourselves. But if we just put down a very simple, here's the playing field, then at least we all know, the rules that we expect as a society. And that doesn't sound like it should be a hard thing to do. So although I know it is, I know this is a debate that's been going on for a very, very long time. So I'll be looking forward to kind of, taking that on as a voice for North Sydney, because I do believe the people of North Sydney want to see that. I think this is something we're all mindful of, and we do want to make be better, do better. That should be our mantra. Do better than what we did yesterday. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just do better. So, yeah. So, Cris, just if there was one thing that you could leave people watching with today, what would one action that you would, I'm sorry, I'll put you on the spot, what action would you like people to take from today's chat?
I suppose for me it's around decision making, and it's when you do make those decisions, be informed, be conscious of the impact that those decisions can have, and confident, because every decision you make, it reveals your values, and it tests those values that are important to you, and whatever action you take shapes your character. And
I love that. I think that needs to be a poster in my office. Every decision you take reflects your values, and defines your character. Yeah, shapes your character. That's brilliant. Thank you, Cris. On that, guys, I know we've been a little bit longer than we would normally do, but that just flew for me today. No, that was fantastic. I really enjoyed that, and I think we're definitely going to have to speak again, Cris. To everybody watching today, thank you for joining in again. I think this conversation with Cris is particularly timely, given everything that we're seeing going on, particularly at the federal government level, around what position Australia is taking in the current climate debate, not only for our environmental future, but our economic future. What position are we taking? What message are we sending to investors and to our small business owners and to, young Australians that are currently being educated about what matters in terms of our business environment? What message are we sending when it comes to integrity and the behaviour at the highest levels of office in this country? Does it meet our standard, and does it inspire us? Can we not be a community that is inspired by the leadership that is on offering, rather than feeling disempowered or lamented by it? And the final piece is the equality piece. Are we living a truth? Are we speaking truth to power at the moment in terms of how we wish to be led into the future? And a feeling of a lack of all those things is one of the reasons that I've stood up and decided to run for federal government. I would invite you today that if any of those things speak to you as well, what can you do in your world to actually start to make a stand in the face of that? And it doesn't need to be running for federal government, but what are the steps you can take today, right now, in the next decision that you make, that actually starts to raise the standard of behaviour in our country. And of course, it goes without saying, if that involves getting on board with the campaign, the Team Tink campaign, to get an independent to Canberra for our North Sydney electorate, it would be amazing to have you on board. So, Cris, thanks again for your time this morning. And thanks everybody out there, and we'll be speaking again soon. Okay, see you. Bye. Thanks, Cris. Bye.
Authorised by Kylea Tink, North Sydney, New South Wales.